What up, good people? It's your boy BTG, aka Bust Them Guns. Back at you with another one. So we're gonna do a little SHOT Show wrap up, SHOT Show 2026. Just kind of cover some of the pieces, some of the new pieces that came out, some of the changes, some of the existing pieces. Just kind of give my take on it. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way. This video is for educational purposes only. We're in a safe and controlled environment. We're not selling any firearms. We're not selling any accessories. We're not promoting the sale of any firearms. Nor are we promoting the sale of any accessories. This is strictly a product review of items of interest, of my interest, and possibly of yours as well. All right. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Appreciate you stopping by. If you enjoy the content, hopefully you hit that subscribe button and come back and see us. If you're a returning viewer, I appreciate the support. Appreciate you being along for the ride. And we're going to keep this journey going. So, all right, let's get into it. So this is going to be just sort of my recap on SHOT Show 2026. I didn't make it out this year, but I've been kind of keeping an eye on the footage, checking out some of the videos, some of the releases, what's hot, what's out there, what's changing with some of the existing pieces out there. So this is going to kind of be a recap of pieces that are of interest to me, fairly common pieces that are likely of interest to a lot of people. But it's not going to be a full review of all the new stuff that came out, all the different manufacturers. Just going to kind of touch on some of the ones that piqued my interest and that will likely end up in the collection for 2026. So let's get into it. We're going to start out. This one is kind of one of the pieces that's been floating out there. Everybody's been wondering, is it going to drop? Is it coming? Is it coming? Is it not? And that's the PSA Saber 11. So that's Palmetto State Armory's 2011. So it looks like they're going to do two versions of it. And this is an all-steel firearm. Looks like they are doing a initial version. Seems like it's going to be just a straight up, no comp, no ports, blacked out version. That's going to be the initial release. And that looks to have MJD grip on it. So they're going to roll that out tri-top. Seems like a pretty nice piece. But I think the one that's going to pique most people's interest is they are going to follow that with a ported version, V8 ports, and that bad boy is going to have the Icarus grip. If it comes out like the photos that they put out, it's going to have the Icarus Precision grip module on there, and that's going to be an FDE setup. I don't know if they're going to offer other finishes or if it's going to primarily be an FDE release, but that one seems pretty hot. Odd that they're not going to release them both at the same time, and maybe they will, because once again, this is, and most of these pieces are going to be late first quarter or early second quarter releases. So what they're saying initially is they're going to roll out the regular model, and then sometime after that they're going to follow with the ported model. But they got to know that a lot of people are going to want the ported model. So I don't know why they don't roll them out together or roll that one out first. But my understanding is going to be sub 2K price-wise, but exactly how far sub 2K, that's still yet to be determined. But that's a pretty nice piece that's going to be coming out. So definitely looking forward to that one, and that will probably be one to add to the selection, to the collection. Next piece, Kimber. So this one here, this is not really news because the videos have been out there on this before SHOT Show, but they've dropped the comp model for the 2K11. And they've done that in both the Pro model, the 4 1/4, and they've also dropped it in the 5-inch. Changed a few things on it, or not a few things, changed a couple of things. So it looks like they've dropped the MJD grip. They've gone to their own grip module. So that's a different design. It's not the Kevlar infused. I think theirs is supposed to be fiberglass infused, something like that, glass infused. But it's their version. I haven't had any complaints about it other than on the surface. A lot of people were liking the MJD and felt they should have stuck with the MJD. But it's still yet to be determined how well received their grip will be and how well it will do. But they just basically put a chunk port on the end of that bad boy, and that's the new model. So finishes, so far it's not available in all the other finishes. It's black, all blacked out, or it's going to be in the stainless finish. So those are the two options for now. That may change later. That will likely change later. So that's it on the Kimber side. One item that I'm looking forward to, I like that Girsan 2311. Match X has been a staple in my collection. and it looks like they've introduced a new version of that. So they've introduced a 4 1/4 of that. Same setup, island comp barrel, but this is all blacked out so far is all I've seen, and they're calling this the CMXX. But what they have changed about this is it's available in 9mm. They're doing a 45 ACP version, and they're doing a 10mm version of that. I am interested in the 10mm version of that. They haven't really identified whether it's going to be an aluminum frame or if this is going to be an all-steel gun. None of the literature that I've seen has really specified, and none of the videos that I've seen about it have specifically identified it one way or another. So hopefully it's a steel frame. If it's a steel frame, I'm definitely all in for the 10mm version of that. That's one I would definitely like to have. But that's a nice addition from Girsan. Looks like they changed the grip module on that. So they went to a different texture. My understanding is much better texture than the original grip on the Match X, which it didn't take much to be better texture. What a grip texture it had. It was an aggressive texture. It was just a hard polymer grip. So this one here is still a polymer grip, looks to be, but different design. So we'll see what that's going to be like, but definitely looking forward to that. Alpha Foxtrot, another one that's of interest to me. I'm a big Alpha Foxtrot fan. The Romulus is one of my favorites in the collection, and it looks like they are introducing a couple of new calibers for the Romulus. So they're bringing in 45 ACP, and they're also doing 10mm. So once again, these are going to be comp models, so they'll have the comp system on there. I am interested in that 10mm because that with the comp, and I would do the same VT important to that as I did to my Romulus. That is available with an aluminum grip. That is another new thing for them. They are introducing an aluminum grip module. So that's a nice plus for them. That takes that platform to the level it should have been because that's a solid unit. DLC finish, whether you go with the polish or whether you go with the flat, that is a solid unit, fit and finish. A big complaint was the grip module. So with them introducing an aluminum grip module, that's putting that in the sweet spot there. They've also introduced another smaller Alpha Foxtrot called the Attila. That's a 3-inch. Is it 3 or 3.3? It's 3 or 3.5, but 3-inch gun. It's going to be using 15-round mags. So I guess same shield mags. But it also, I think it's going to come with the 20 round, so it's going to have an extension on there. That's going to be a pretty nice piece there. So that looks pretty good. I am definitely feeling the Alpha Foxtrot with the aluminum grip. I think that really sets that platform apart. They're also introducing an acro plate for that system. So plating system for the acro. And my understanding, if you've got one of the Gen 2 Alpha Foxtrots, so that's the one that comes with the RMR footprint optic plate and the RMSC, you can call in and request an acro plate and they'll send one out for you. As long as you purchase a Gen 2 Romulus. So that's pretty cool there. So for you acro lovers, you can get you a plate for that. Just give them a call and they'll send one out as long as you got a Gen 2 Romulus. Next on the list is our favorite Fusion Firearms that is kicking up a lot of dust here in the 2025, right into 2026. So they are on fire. They are dropping the comp model, just dropped the XP comp. So that's hot off the press, and they're evolving that bad boy rapidly. So they introduced it with just a comp, but they quickly introduced a ported version of that so you can get it comped. And you can get the ports, and I think it's the 4 portsman. I think it's 4 ports that comes in there, the way they have it set up. That is a top inline port. So that's a nice option there. And this is coming out of the custom shop. You can order that with gas pedals on there. So the custom shop, you can really have it your way. They've got all the hot finishes coming out. So they've got like the Damascus type finish with the bronze. They've got a few wow finishes. One that's like a fingerprint type look. So they're putting some nice stuff out over there. So Fusion, is really letting you go a la carte on those. So if you want to put your order in, you can spec that bad boy out how you want it. Wait times are not crazy, but it's not going to be an overnight, obviously, because it's going through the custom shop. They're going to spec it out how you want it. You can get the gas pedals. You can go without the gas pedals. Comp, you can go port, comp and port. You can pick the finish you want. They've got some real wild finishes over there. Some of them look pretty hot. So check that out. Check out the website. And a new addition from Fusion. This is the hottest one off the press. And this looks to be a pretty nice piece. It's a compact carry piece. So this is going to be the XP Pro 3C. So that's a comp version, compact 3-inch, designed pretty much like the XP Pro, but in a compact all steel gun. The magwell design on that is pretty cool. It's kind of like an integrated magwell, so it doesn't affect the carry, doesn't really induce any additional printing. 15 round, so you're going to have 15 round capacity. So that bad boy is pretty nice. So that's a nice piece there. That also, I think it's going to be, I think that's going to be end of first quarter. Or they might be coming out right after SHOT Show. So check the site on that. So they might be releasing those early. But that is up for bat. So that's another release from them. That looks like that's going to be a nice piece. And I think there's going to be a ported barrel option for that as well, because it has that same open cut on the end of the slide, just like the XP Pro. So how soon the barrels are going to be available for that, just check the site for that. So that's Fusion. Fusion has got some hot stuff coming. They are setting the trail. Next up is one that's definitely on my list, and that's the Sig P211 GTO. And the GTO is out, so that's not new news in itself, although it's still fairly new. But they're dropping some new iterations of that bad boy, and they are pretty nice. The one that caught my immediate attention was the Equinox, and that's the one with the stainless accents on the finish. That's a nice look. So you're getting that nickel finish with the hammer, the magwell, and the trigger, but then they're mixing the stainless in there. And just the design of that gun, it welcomes itself to a little customization to really take it to the next level. But that's just one of the new additions. They also have a Spectra comp version that's going to be coming. And if you're familiar with the Spectra series, that's mixing the gold in there. So that one has the gold lock. Oh, and on the Equinox has the lock grips on there. And so does the Spectra comp. Spectra comp has the gold lock grips, gold trigger. You can see that magwell on there, the gold magwell hammer. So that's a pretty nice piece. Why they didn't do the gold barrel, I'm not really sure. I mean, it went that far. The regular Spectra series on the 320 has the gold barrel. And I think even on the 365s, I think that has the gold barrel. So they really should have done the gold barrel on this. It just saves you having to do that once you get it. But that's a nice looking piece. Another one that's going to be a favorite for a lot of people is a version they're calling the Night Shift. And that bad boy, as you can see, it's got those blue PVD accents, and that looks pretty hot. Nice subtle accents, but enough to kind of set it off. And these with the accents being on the comp as well, or at least on the Night Shift it is. Another model that's going to be coming is the one they're calling the Quicksilver. And that's basically just a stainless model. But it has the, I think the comp is blacked out on that, stainless. So that's another model that's coming. And they're coming with the monoblocks for these, so you don't necessarily have to go with the comp. So if you're shooting it in competition, you'll be able to get the sight block on that so you can run it either way. A couple of new models is GT4 and GT5. The GT4, both of these are non-comp models. So these are just straight up. The GT4 is a 4-inch. The GT5 is a 5-inch. GT4, I think, is 4.2. And then the GT5 is a 5-inch. So hot stuff coming on the GTO. They are evolving that platform. So it's good to see that. So looking forward to those hitting the market. Don't quite know the timeline on that. But as I say, a lot of these I think are going to be second quarter items, either late first quarter or second quarter. So moving on down, that's sort of the budget, semi-budget side of the 2011. A couple stepping on up into the mid-tier, Jacob Gray. They debuted their Hex Pro. That's their 4.6 inch. So that's kind of right in the middle of the Hex and the Nox 9. So price point is right in the middle as well. I think it's coming in around 48. But that's a pretty nice unit. That has the chunk port on the end. So that adds you some ports in there. That's going to be a pretty serious shooter there. But as it comes tri-top with the chunk port, 4.6 inch. So that's a pretty nice unit there. Coming on down, Staccato. They're still stepping up their side of things, trying to stay in the mix. So they're dropping a new C4X. And that is a 4-inch version of their new model. Looks pretty nice. It actually looks pretty decent. And that one is dropping in around 35. So that's a pretty nice addition there. On the striker fire side, Canik is evolving that Prime. So I haven't picked up a Prime yet. Now they are doing a TTI bronze version. So you got the two-tone colors, kind of similar to what you see in the Canik TTI Combat. So they've got that edition out there. And they also have just a straight up two-tone, just like an FD and a black mix. So they have that model that's going to be coming. And then they have Prime NC, which is no comp. So it's just regular size of the Prime, but just no comp on it. So you can get it straight up if you just don't want a comp pistol. And then the one that's, I think, going to catch most people's attention is that Radiant Ramjet version. So that's going to be a nice shooter. And the way they described it, because the first thing you asked is, okay, you did your comp on your model with the 3 ports out there, but then you turn around and do a ramjet. And the way they described it is they did their version for those that want a little bit of mitigation, recoil mitigation, but don't want a super flash, so it kind of muzzles the flash a little bit with the mild-mannered ports like they have on the original Prime. But then the ramjet is supposed to be the all-out maximum recoil reduction, which we know that because the ramjet, the ports on that bad boy are huge. So that model is dropping. Don't know any price points on that yet, but the magwell and the backstrap is available. I'm not sure if it's coming with all that or if it's just available as an option, but we know just from where the ramjet, the magwell, and the backstrap price alone now, that on top of the Prime it's going to run that price up there. But we'll see where they price it. I mean, maybe they got a nice volume discount on the Ramjet, but we'll see. But that seems like a pretty nice unit. That Ramjet looks good on there. The backstrap, I really like that backstrap design. Right now, it looks to be all blacked out. I would like to hope that they will do a bronze version just like they did with the Glock and with the Sig. They offered that bronze Ramjet. I'd like to see that on the Prime as well. That would be the one that I would want because that bronze accent against the black looks pretty nice. A lot of people's favorite, Springfield Echelon. They are dropping a new model. Actually, they have gotten into the Aimport Koa because I guess the Glock hold on that was only a 1-year patent for them, and now it's open to the other manufacturers. So they're doing a version of the Echelon that has the Koa sighting system on there. One of the claim to fames on the Echelon was it had that optic system where you can mount just about any optic with the lugs. Well, this one is going to be a dedicated optic setup for the Koa. A lot of people like that setup on the Glock 43X. So that's rolling out to Springfield on the Echelon. And they're dropping a couple of new models of the Echelon. So short frame, but full length slide. So you're getting the full capacity. I mean, full length grip. So you're getting full capacity on there. So that's something that's coming. Smith & Wesson is doing the same thing with that Koa system. They're dropping a model that's going to have that Koa optic system on there. But it looks like that's going to possibly be just a law enforcement model. So it doesn't look like that's immediately available to the public. We'll see if that changes. But for right now, I think it's for law enforcement. SAR looks like they're finally bringing a model that kind of surfaced last year sometime. That SAR 724. It's a 4.4-inch version of the SAR. And then it disappeared. So it looks like it's back now. Looks like it's actually coming. It's going to be a thing this time. Looks like they got 3 different versions of it. I think the Sport, 724 Sport, is the 4.4-inch. And then there's a couple models under that, so maybe a 4-inch and then a 3.5 or something like that. But there's 3 shorter versions underneath that. That's going to be coming. So that looks like a pretty solid unit. And the price on those are nice. I think that's going to be around 7 or sub 7. So those are priced nice. So look out for that. I think SAR is changing their name. I think there's no more SAR USA. I think they're just All now. So, which most people just say SAR anyway. But that's a change for them. That's noted. So that's what's happening out there. Those are the things that caught my attention. Obviously, there was a lot more that dropped. There's a lot more units out there that debuted. There's a lot of video footage out there. So check out some of those videos if it's something else that you're interested in that we didn't necessarily touch on. This was just a list that that piqued my attention that would likely end up in my collection. So I just want to kind of recap that with you guys. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you got any questions on any of these that that I can research for you. High on my list is that Romulus, the 10mm Romulus. So that Equinox, that GTO, that's high on the list. Girsan, that Match CMXX. If that 10mm is a steel frame, that's definitely one that's going to be up there. The Kimber, I just put that out there. I will not likely be picking up the ported Kimber because I've already done that to my Equinox, Equinox. So mine is ported and it's got the chunk port. So that would just be duplication for me. The PSA, we'll see. We'll see once that drops. I am really liking that FTE version with that Icarus grip on there. I'm a big fan of the Icarus grip, and it looks nice on that model. So that's one that could end up in the collection for sure. So we'll see where that falls. But that's my SHOT Show recap. Like I said, I didn't get out there this year. Plan to definitely make it this year. I mean, next year. This year, the priority for me is ARM 6. So that's the place to be. If you're not familiar with a regular meetup, definitely check out the website, regularmeetup.com. My main man, RGG. This is the 6th annual event. So it's getting larger and larger each year. We're going to be in Jacksonville, Florida this year. I'm actually nominated for an award, Under the Radar Award. There's a lot more nominees. Voting is open on that. So if you haven't voted, go to regularmeetup.com. Get your vote in for your boy and other creators on there. There's a lot of different categories, so check it out. Put some time in on that. But that's going to be the place to be. It's going to be a big year. That's where we all meet up. You know, we meet in the live Wednesdays and Fridays over on RGG's channel, Regular Gun Guy. And it builds up to this end of the year where we all get together, shoot each other gun. The industry come out. They bring their guns. So we have Industry Day. So it's a big event. I'm going to do a designated video on that, just kind of going over it in more detail and just kind of really highlighting that, giving it its just due. It's going to be in June. Don't hold me to the dates. I think it's June 13th, 12th, 13th, 14th, something like that is that weekend. But Jacksonville, Florida is where it's going to be. But keep an eye out. Like I said, I'm going to do a designated video on that just to make sure we put that on the radar. Tickets are on sale now at regularmeetup.com. So check out the site if you're interested in going. Get your tickets before it sells out. It is a real nice event. We have a blast. If you go once, you'll likely be locked in. It's addictive. If you go, you're going to go again and again. But it's your boy BTG. I don't want to make this too long. Hit me up on the other platforms at Bust Them Guns, Instagram, Facebook, as well as Rumble. Until next time, holla.